The Canadian Taxpayers Federation estimates that Parks Canada is paying foreign hunters $12 million to cull deer on Sidney Island using illegal and dangerous methods, when BC hunters would have used safe methods, been more efficient, and done it for free. So is this incompetence or is this corruption? You're going to want to stick around and find out. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a great day. I'm going to start this video off by rolling a news clip from Global News, and then we're going to discuss it, and I'm sure you'll have a lot of concerns just like I did.
You're seeing a controversial wild animal eradication program underway on Sidney Island near Victoria. This video was shot by island residents who said the aerial gunning component of Parks Canada's deer eradication program began Wednesday, with this red helicopter seen flying low, doors open, and shooters perched with their rifles. And paths on the island were marked with these signs warning of the danger of gunfire.
I think we've been quite hoodwinked. In fact, I don't think we've been told the truth about what Parks Canada was planning to do.
The project has faced controversy for months. Many other Sidney Island residents and non-islanders said Parks Canada did a poor job of explaining the operation early on, and they questioned both its necessity and whether hundreds of deer could be humanely killed from helicopters.
It seems very inhumane. If a deer is wounded, how will they ever find it?
Parks Canada insisted the mass kill was necessary because non-native fallow deer were eating too much of the island's native plants. A small portion of the island is a national park, and that's where work has been underway to restore the original vegetation. The aerial gunning component of the program took place on schedule. Parks Canada confirmed it began on Tuesday and will wrap up by the end of Sunday. They expect to release the number of deer killed in the coming days.
Many of you may know this, but for those of you who don't, I'm just going to explain a little bit of the law in Canada surrounding firearms use and hunting. Now, I'm not an expert hunter, but I do hunt, and I was in the Royal Canadian Mounted Police for 34 and a half years, where I enforced hunting laws on occasion. Also, I teach the Canadian Firearms Safety Course. So I do have a little bit of knowledge here when it comes to safe use of firearms and the law surrounding them. So in Canada, it is illegal to hunt from a helicopter or any aircraft, from a vessel, or from a motor vehicle. In fact, it is illegal to have a loaded firearm in any of those. So you can't have a loaded firearm in a vehicle, in a vessel, or in an aircraft. It's also illegal to hunt with an AR-15. That was even before they were prohibited, but now they are prohibited. It is illegal to have a standard capacity magazine. Standard capacity magazine for a semi-automatic AR-15 will hold 30 cartridges. But in Canada, we have to restrict our cartridge size for semi-automatic rifles to 5 rounds. In Canada, it is illegal to possess or use a suppressor, which is commonly referred to as a silencer. All of these tools and methods were being used by these foreigners. This isn't the first time the government has done this. They've done it on other islands as well, and it has been just as unpopular on those islands. But why are they using these methods, and why are they hiring foreigners to do what normally would be illegal in Canada for anybody, even for Canadians? Well, you might have guessed that this is a federal program. Parks Canada is part of the federal government. They probably did have some consultation with the BC NDP, and we all know from recent scandals just how corrupt they are. So a collaboration between the federal Liberals and the BC NDP, well, what could possibly go wrong? I'm going to list 3 concerns that I have about this program, and I invite you, if you can think of any others, to list your concerns in the comments below. My first concern is the methods that they use are inefficient. It's difficult to shoot from a helicopter or from any moving vehicle. It's not like the movies. The chance that this could lead to wounding a deer instead of killing it, thus being less humane, is very high. Plus, this is not Texas. They use helicopters regularly in hog hunts down in Texas, but the terrain is far different. This is dense forest. Reports are that organized land hunts by the locals has resulted in far more deer being culled than by this method of hiring foreigners and paying them extraordinary amounts of money to do this helicopter hunt. Second, it's dangerous. There's a reason why you don't shoot from moving vehicles. As I said, this is not the movies. It is not that easy. What if there is somebody who ignored the signs and just decided to walk and hike into the woods? That happens all the time. This is dense brush, remember, and their accuracy is not as great as if they were doing a land hunt. The possibility of them not seeing a person and accidentally shooting them is greatly amplified here. And third, the cost is extravagant. Canadian Taxpayers Federation, which, quite frankly, I would believe over Parks Canada or the federal government or the BC government, estimate that it will run $12 million. $12 million to hire a helicopter, to hire hunters, to bring them in and have them cull these deers. And are all of the carcasses being recovered? I would imagine that there's quite a few that are left rotting in the forest. And this could have all been done for free by local hunters, so why was the money spent? This leads me to wonder, is this just massive incompetence and stupidity, or is it corruption? Is somebody who shouldn't be paid pocketing some of this money? It is the federal Liberals, after all, and the provincial NDP. Let's just think about it. The government had to break several of its own rules in order to make this happen, when they didn't have to break any at all. Even if they had paid local hunters transportation and accommodation fees, this would have cost them far less. I, for one, can't say which I believe more. Are the governments of British Columbia and Canada corrupt, or are they incompetent? Or maybe they're a little bit of both. And even if this decision was made by senior management at Parks Canada, those same questions apply. They should know better. So I would lean more on the corruption side. Somebody pocketing money they shouldn't have. But of course, that's just my opinion, and it's all speculation. I want to make that clear. I have no unique knowledge of this, but on analysis, it does sure seem suspicious to me. But I'd like to know what you think. Please comment if you think that it is incompetence and stupidity, or if it's corruption. And also, feel free to leave any other comment you might like. Civil discourse is always welcome. And while you're down there, in the pinned comment, I will leave a link to a petition that I started a little while back, and I encourage you to go and sign that petition. It is a petition to encourage Mary Simon, the Governor General, to do her job to solve Parliament and call an early election. We all know that about 71% of Canadians would like this. Also, I encourage you to like this video, share with your friends, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.